Hey there, sisters and brothers, it's Mindy, and I'm coming today to share with you a practice that I've used for a long time to help me with my springtime allergies. If you're like anybody else, you know that you don't have the coronavirus and it's just springtime allergies. So if this is the case, even if you are dealing with a cold or with the flu and it's really getting you stuffy, you can use the Neti pot to help you through it. It just cleans out the sinuses and then lubricates them at the same time. So it's a really great practice to use, but a lot of people who've tried this on their own are like, oh, that sounds like an amazing idea, but I've never been successful with it. Like, you can either have the water too hot or too cold. You can have not enough salt or too much salt. You can have your head tilted in the wrong way and it ruins the whole experience. So for me, I wanted to share with you, I actually learned this from a teacher, and I wanted to share this with you because it actually really does help your body out when you're suffering through springtime allergies. Hey, Raj. Anyways, what I want to start with is the best water that you can find. Please don't use tap water, especially if you're in a city or a municipality that puts chlorine in their waters. It just doesn't do the job. You want to have as pure water as possible. So that could be distilled water. If you really don't have anything great, then try bottled water instead because it doesn't have the chlorine in it. We at our house have a ridiculous filtration system, but we also have a saltwater softener. And because we have a softener, I don't want to use the tap water from here. Even though it's pure, it has salt in it. And I don't want that salt going in my nostrils. So instead we use the reverse osmosis system that we have for drinking water. And I'll use that for my nostrils and it works really great. But you basically want to start with the purest water you can and then sea salt, natural sea salt. Something that does not have iodine in it. You do not want to use iodized table salt, okay? So natural sea salt, we got that here. I don't have a microwave, so I just heat up my water on the stove, and you want it to be at about 100 degrees. So I heated this up before I started this, and I might actually have to heat it up a little bit more. I just have a little candy thermometer right here. Oh, can you see it? Yeah, it's just about hot enough. I'm gonna go ahead and just heat this up for a couple seconds on my stovetop. Let it get just a little bit more. Another way you can test it is if you put a couple drops or a small drip on your wrist and it feels just right, like it's warm, but it's not hot and it's definitely not cooler than your body temperature. You want your water to be body temperature, so approximately 100 degrees. And you want to have 2 cups of water. So your Neti pot, you need to have one of these. You can order them, I'm sure, from Amazon these days. But get a nice Neti pot. Ceramic ones, I don't like plastic because I just don't like plastics in my life. So I don't want to put plastic material in my nostrils. So mine's a ceramic one. That's probably hot enough. So you want to start with 2 cups. Because 2 cups, each Neti pot is generally 8 ounces. So I already put my salt into the water. It's 1/4 teaspoon approximately per 1 cup of water. So if you're doing 2 cups of water, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And if you taste it, it should taste like seawater or like your tears. The tears is approximately the exact perfect amount, okay? If you have too much, it'll be awful. If you can't taste the salt, you don't have enough salt in there, okay? And every sea salt is a little different, so you might have to adjust a little bit. But once you have it at the appropriate temperature and you already have your salt dissolved in here, oh, by the way, if you put your salt in with your water and then heat it, the time that it takes to dissolve the salt is approximately the time that it takes to heat the water to the right temperature of 100 degrees, approximately. Okay, so I'm gonna pour 1/2 of this into my Neti pot. Perfect. Make sure your Neti pot's clean, by the way. I just used mine earlier this week, so it's fine. Now, when you do this, there's a hole on the end of the spout, and you want that hole, I'm getting right up in here with you guys, to go right up inside your nostril, okay? Don't get shy with it. You want it to seal the nostril, to seal all the way around the spout. The most important thing is the angle of the head when you're doing this. Well, and don't breathe through your nose. Don't do that. But the most important thing for getting the flow right is to get the head tilted over a sink And then you tilt toward your neti pot. So I'm gonna do it toward you guys to start with. So you put your neti pot in there, and then you tilt your head down toward the sink and toward your neti pot, and then you just tilt your neti pot up, and it starts to run out the other side. If you tilt a little too high, see how kind of is inconsistent? Okay, we want to get that nice and smooth. Talking doesn't make it very smooth. Now, again, like I said, do not try to breathe through your nose. Only breathe through your mouth. And you just are patient while you allow the water to go all the way through. So if your head isn't quite tilted at the right angle, just play with that angle. And when the flow basically stops on its own, turn your head gently toward the sink and gently exhale through your nose. I also like to have a box of Kleenex nearby. And you gotta very gently blow your nose. Do not forcefully blow your nose. Okay? So that's one side done. And as you can see, got it all out. All right, now we go for the other side. You've got 2 cups, so it's a perfect fit for the second. Oh, I'm gonna move this and you're gonna see how dirty my kitchen actually is. Sorry about that. But I don't want you to have to watch the back of my head. See, there's my dirty kitchen right there. Okay, now, other side. Now, if you have a lot of snot coming out this side that you just did, then you want to blow that out just gently, again, blowing out. But you can also then rinse the rest of it out this way. So again, you stick it up into your nostrils, lean over your sink, and then tilt your head. Breathing only through your mouth. Okay, I'm gonna gently blow. I just exhaled softly through my nose. Gentle blow. Okay, now to finish this off, what I like to do is a little pose called wood chopper. Okay, I do this in the middle of my kitchen. I have Kleenex handy. Okay, sorry, you can't see me very well. Who knew I was going to be moving around so much? Okay, so wood chopper, put your arms up above your head, and you're going to exhale through your nose as you chop the wood. So you take a breath in, and exhale through the nose. Inhale up, exhale down. And you're going to do this 10 times. Okay, so why do you do the wood chopper? It's ridiculous looking. You do it because the sinuses have all kinds of cavities and twists and turns up in there. And if you want to clear your sinuses out, it's got to get through all that stuff. And later in the day, after you've done your neti pot, you don't want to look over your work and have a ton of drips come out. So the wood chopper moves you through a range of motion that allows all those drips that have been caught up in there to release themselves now rather than releasing them later. So 10 wood chops usually does it. Sometimes I have to stop in the middle and just, catch those drips. Today it was pretty clear already. But for me, this is a vital practice. I was sneezing like crazy in my meditation this morning, and now I'm gonna be good after washing out my nose. I'll be good for a couple of days probably. My allergies are bad, but they're not ridiculously bad. So go ahead and try this out. If you have terrible allergies and you feel them coming on every day, I would make this a daily practice for a while. If you are, you know, sort of seasonal allergies kind of got you down, or you just have a cold, do it when you need it. I do it about twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week if it's really bad. Because I love this, because I can't take the allergy medication. Is anybody with me? My goodness, I cannot take that allergy medication. It makes me both zippy and foggy at the same time, and I don't like living my life that way. So instead, I choose the more natural remedies, and it makes me feel so stinking much better. I love it. If you have any questions about this practice, please let me know. If something doesn't make sense, or you've tried it before and you have a question, please let me know. I would love to answer any of your questions. And if this feels good and you know somebody who could use it, please share it with them. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you all very soon. I hope you enjoyed watching me wash my nose today. Mwah.